To not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncer's gilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Umar for IFL TV. We've just had the final press conference for McCann v Baluta at your court this Friday night. We will come on to that card in a bit, but I saw a retweet on Frank Warren's official account today, and it was actually retweeting you. There was a clip from a Boxing Social interview that Eddie did with Gareth Davis. That was Alfie Warren chucking a box at me.
You know you made it when you got people throwing things at you during interviews, Umar, so congratulations, my friend.
That's Alfie Warren security for this press conference. Yeah, so I saw the retweet, so just talk me through the retweet. Eddie went on Boxing Social, as I said, and he said that a 50-50 split was agreed by Usyk in the rematch, for the rematch clause for the Wembley fight. And, you know, Eddie was discussing how Fury didn't take that fight with Usyk and it was essentially his fault. So I saw the retweet on Frank's official account, so just talk me through that situation.
Yeah, look, obviously I'm scrolling and I see that. Look, I've got no beef with Eddie or anything like that. I think he's very good at what he does. It's just, if I see misinformation, which is just like clearly incorrect, and I know that's not correct, I will just correct it and I'll put that out there. It's not about like fans having opinions on it. Oh, we think this happened because of this. It's like Eddie literally said something that was untrue. So that wasn't the case. I think, what did he say? He said that Usyk agreed to 50-50 in the rematch in the event that he won. That wasn't what happened. Usyk asked for 70-30 in the rematch if the rematch was in the UK in the event that he won. So imagine Tyson Fury had lost to Alexander Usyk. In the rematch, Usyk would get 70% of a pot in the UK against Tyson Fury if that had happened. There is no chance anyone in the world gets more than 50% of a pot against Tyson Fury in the United Kingdom. Absolutely not. And away from that, it was a case of if it's not in the UK, they can say it's the Middle East, they can go and do their own deals. That's fine. But that was incorrect.
Maybe, just to counter that point, if Anthony Joshua beat Tyson Fury and they did a rematch, maybe he'd get a 70-30 swing.
Look, and that would be a case of them agreeing on that. I'd imagine that would be up to them. But in this particular instance, when you've got Tyson Fury, who is a star of world boxing, a star certainly in the UK as well, it doesn't matter how many belts you've got. You can have 10, 20, 30 belts. You don't get more than 50% of a pot against him in any fight. It just doesn't happen. And that was the case there.
Regardless, that post was just put out just to clarify, in your words, some misinformation.
Yeah, it was just incorrect information. I mean, look, it's fine Eddie saying, oh, Tyson didn't want it and all that. Look, that's just his opinion. But when he's saying something that is very specific and very specifically wrong, it needs to be corrected.
Just to clear up, 70-30 was the offer for the first fight, the rematch clause. They wanted a reverse split of that, Usyk's side, 70-30, and if it was 50-50, I mean, I don't think it got to that point of negotiations, but Tyson that's what he was actually asking for, 50-50 in the rematch.
This is my understanding of it, right, that he asked for the reverse split in the rematch if it was in the UK, and Tyson...
Yeah, no, Usyk did ask for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's on record, and we are where we are with it, but I just saw that it was incorrect, so I thought I'd correct it.
Okay. Let's talk about what happened today. I can't quite figure out if it was a heated press conference between McCann and Baluta or it was respectful, because it kept going respectful, heated, then it went back to respectful. A bit of a strange one, actually.
It was a bit of a strange one, Umar, I agree. And look, we had Anis Taj there, a cruiserweight contender, who was translating for Baluta, and it was good fun. I think there's mutual underlying respect between them, but both believe that they will fill each other in on Friday night. I mean, it just comes down to that, really. You saw the face-off that they had as well. They're smiling.
Sorry, your colleagues are smiling at you at the moment.
Yeah. You see Sahni, you start smiling, right? Look, it makes sense, guys. But look, they had a lovely, fun face-off up there as well. I believe McCann invited Baluta to feel his bicep. Baluta obliged and agrees that McCann's in great shape. And we'll find out on Friday night. It's a hell of a fight for McCann, isn't it? I mean, when you saw this fight get made, Umar. What did you think?
I was quite shocked.
Yeah, and I'm exactly the same. When I saw it go around on the bout sheet, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to take on Baluta. It's not like Baluta's like some losing fighter who's just come off a couple of losses. He's literally just beaten Andrew Kane, and he knocked Andrew Kane down in that fight as well. Like, it's form to take into it. It's a tall task for a young man in Dennis McCann, 22 years old, but if he's the guy that we think he is, if he's the guy that he promises to be, he should come through it.
Just quickly run through the card as well. Quite an intriguing matchup between Nathaniel Collins, who's on his Queensberry debut, who said he's the best featherweight in this country, which is a big, bold statement. Goes up against Raza Hamza, who's touted for big things, but obviously had a setback with James Beach Jr. last time, and now he said he's addressed some issues. He believes we're going to get the best Raza Hamza. Nathaniel Collins is obviously someone that you guys are really backing, so you guys think he's a big talent, so it should be a fairly interesting fight between them two.
It was a big statement up there. You're absolutely right. From Nathaniel Collins saying that he believes he's the best featherweight in the country, he is taking into account Lee Wood. He is taking into account Josh Warrington. He is taking into account his Queensberry stablemate, Nick Ball. So there's going to be plenty of featherweights who will have plenty to say about that, but he believes in himself. He's unbeaten. He hasn't lost a round so far in his career, 12-0, British and Commonwealth champion. But he's in against Raza Hamza, who, if you listen to what he's saying at the press conference, he means it. This is everything to him. I had a chat with him as well. I asked him, what has led to you, leaving home, not seeing your daughter and stuff for 14 weeks? What has led to all of that? And he says it's because he made his mum and his brother a promise before they died that he would become a champion. A lot rides on this, and that's the sort of emotion and belief that he's taking into Friday, and it'll be very interesting to see if he can pull it off. I put that to Nathaniel Collins, by the way, all that stuff, and he said, do you know what, I've been making promises to my family as well. I've got mouths to feed too. I love it when there's that kind of story and emotion heading into a fight. It really adds something to it.
Raven Chapman and Ryan Garner as well on the card. Tune in to TNT Sports this Friday night, or get down to York Court, although I believe it's sold out, isn't it?
York Court is sold out. There's rumours out there, if you look on Twitter, about a particularly handsome ring announcer, and some people are saying
Thomas Schreiber's doing it this week.
Don't know, but this is what people are saying. People are saying on social media there's a particularly handsome ring announcer, and that may have led to a few extra tickets being shifted. But
if it's not Thomas Schreiber, you guys must have got a new MC in.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I don't know who it could be, but find out. Tune in 7:30 Friday night, and
it'll be your ugly face on the screen, isn't it, Dave? Thank you very much for your time.
That'd be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,